Welcome to another episode of Hotfixing the NFL, the series where we take team by team and apply day one patch in week one, or a hotfix, if you want to call it that way. What does this mean in practice? Well, simply we take a look at the team, we identify the areas that need the most work, and then we just go about our business in improving them. As easy as pie. Let's go, guys. The Ravens are one of the top teams in the NFL, and funnily enough, they have a crazy high offense, 87, and 85 defense. But when I look at this, it's a few standout players like Derrick Henry, who was added in the offseason, a great addition. Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, really great offensive weapons. But when I look at this offensive line, I'm scratching my head, because if these dudes can't protect Lamar Jackson, then we're going to have problems. I also think that the wide receiver group is pretty good, but definitely the offensive line is something that needs a touch-up right now, right here, if they ever want to think about going to a Super Bowl. On defense, things are looking a little bit better, to be fair. We're going to start out with the linebackers. We've got Roquan Smith here, X Factor, great stuff. We've got Odafe Owe, 81 rated left outside linebacker. Calvin Noy looking good. David Ojabo is here, that's interesting. We've got Trenton Simpson. So this is a really, really good linebacking group. We've got Kyle Hamilton, who's had a great first season. We've got Marcus Williams here. We've got Marlon Humphrey. We've got Nate Wiggins. We've got Stevens, we've got Jalen Armour-Davis, really, really good players all around. The front three, Michael Pierce is brutal, Justin Madubuike is brutal, and then we've got Brent Urban. Are you serious? Are you being serious? Well, okay. Hold your horses. This is what we're going to do. We're going to now apply the day one patch, the whole fix. Before we really go into the gritty stuff, we're going to take a look at the roster in the team view to kind of identify if we probably have some opportunities that we can use here. I like Lamar Jackson. This setup, it just makes fully sense. Derrick Henry is a great addition. I do hope he has a great time there. Patrick Ricard, great fullback. The wide receivers are looking dangerous. It's a very balanced group up here, of course. Deontay Harty, good addition. The tight ends, of course, led by Mark Andrews. That's a brutal one. Absolutely great one. Ronnie Stanley's fantastic. Josh Jones is a good backup. Patrick McCarry, 2673. That is probably one that I will let slide. At center, we've got Tyler Linderbaum. Great dude. I love this one. He's had such a great season, the first one. Right guard, Ben Cleveland, 2570. I'm scratching my head. I'm not even gonna try to attempt that name. All right, I'm not gonna embarrass myself. Right tackle is Roger Rosengarten, 2170. All right, that's a rookie. That kind of makes sense. We've got Daniel Felipe behind him. But to be fair, I think the right guard is a position that we should look at very, very critically. We've got the left edge, Justin Madubuike. I like this one here. We've got Broderick Washington and Travis Jones. All right, so that's where Brent Urban came from. I was thinking, like, what is going on? All right, so I think the rightish position also definitely needs an upgrade. The D-tackle position is really nicely set with Michael Pierce. I like the left outside linebackers. That just makes a bunch of sense here. I like the mid linebackers. That's good. We could use some more depth. I would like that. Right outside linebackers also looking very nice. Adisa Isaac was a great addition from the 24 draft. Then we've got the cornerbacks. I actually like this group as well. I mean, Marlon Humphrey's just fantastic. Brandon Stevens is good as well. Nate Wiggins, and we've got Jalen Armour-Davis, who are more of the developmental side. We could boost this as well, but I don't think it's really necessary. Free safety is looking very nice. Strong safety is looking even nicer. And then we've got the kicker and the punter. And that kind of rounds off the picture that we have. And now we're just going to start hot fixing. All right, here we go. First deal done. We are sending Ben Cleveland to the Falcons. We are bringing in Chris Lindstrom. Hear me out. All right, take a look at the haul first. And then hear me out. I'm going to go into it later. But of course, we need to solidify the offensive line immediately. That's a big concern. We need protection for our quarterback. All right, next trade done. We are sending Washington to the Commanders, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? We're also sending a second and third round pick there. We're receiving Dorrance Armstrong, a right edge with a startup trait, who will immediately slot into the team. All right, so there we go. One thing that you might have noticed in these hotfix rebuilds, they're super short, and I'm very aggressive in my trades. Probably I would take more time here in the trading, try to get more value back. I would also trade players away to get picks back and so on and so forth. This is a super short period of time. It's sort of supposed to be urgent. It's supposed to be really, really stressful for the team, and thus they're applying a lot of pressure. But what they did here is we brought in Chris Lindstrom, who is going to be an immediate help at right guard. He's a very, very good player. He's 26, he's in his best years, and he is really probably going to be one of the pieces to help this team really, really get its full potential at offense going for real. I'm going to leave Patrick McCarry. I'm going to leave Jones in here. There's also rookies in here that I didn't drag up. Someone like Rosengarten here, who's initially a right tackle player. But I do feel like these experienced players can work well enough, even if their overalls are maybe a little bit lower. I wouldn't really be too worried about that right now. I think this is a big addition. It solidifies that right-hand side. We've got a solidifying factor here on the left-hand side. We've got a solid center. That's going to work. Everything else is absolutely awesome, right? Great tight end, great wide receiver, fantastic running backs, great fullback. What about defense? Let's take a quick look right here. What I did do was I added a little bit more depth here to the midline backing position. Of course, you know, there's a chance to also bring in other players. Adisa Isaac can also play midline backer. You know, you can always mix and match during the season. Don't really think that's a big issue. But one thing that I wanted to fix very, very quickly was that front three. We needed the pressure. We needed the ability to just really apply it and keep pounding and keep pounding and keep pounding. I like Matabuike on the left. And then we now have Dorrance Armstrong on the right. We've got Michael Pierce in the middle, and they're going to be applying pressure on the opposing offense. In terms of a long-term rebuild, there are pieces here that will work very well. I like Jones. I like Ojabo. We can fit them in here. As you can see, Jones can also play the D-tackle position and so on and so forth. So if this were a longer rebuild, then I'd certainly do that, or a longer franchise, I'd certainly do that. But as it stands, we just needed the help and just needed to fix this right edge position. Everything else I really don't think is worth touching. Especially this here. Yeah, it's a rookie from 2023. The 72 rating might or might not be entirely true. If it were 74, I wouldn't think about it. If it's 72, of course, I'm going to look there. But again, as it stands, I really, really think this is a very good defense. And the team is now an 89 offense and 87 defense, and a major competitor in the NFL. All right, that's up to you again. Let me know what you think. What would you have done differently? Which players would you have exchanged? What would you have traded? Who would you have brought in? Who would you have liked to see on this team? Just like interacting with you guys. So just drop that down below. As always, do drop a like. Consider subscribing if you like what I'm doing. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me here. Stay awesome and see you next time.